All right, welcome back to LearnWire. We're going to jump right in. A lot of you are asking for some SurgeGraph content and some tutorials, and so that's what I'm going to be focusing on the next couple of videos. Let's get started. Now, SurgeGraph has been doing a lot of stuff, and I am in contact with I don't know if it's the marketing manager or it's one of the creators of the software, but we've been in touch for the last couple of months. And they're keeping me afloat of the new things that they are doing to the software. Some of the stuff in the early stages a few months ago were actually influenced by some of the feedback that I gave them initially. And their tool has really developed with, just user feedback, including myself, and then also trying to kind of meet that need of the market like a Surfer AI. I really think that this is one of the closest tools that is an alternative to Surfer AI. And it's going to just continue to get better and better because they recognize when the tool has some flaws or some bugs or things that they need to improve, and then they are improving it. It looks like they are even adding in external links automatically, all kinds of really good stuff in here. But just to get things kicked off, and I just wanted to say that I tried to work on a top 10 or top 17 list in here, and it doesn't really work well for listicles right now, but in the next couple of weeks, I'm recording this video on June 29th. By the time this video hits, it's going to actually be about 5 days later. I'm actually recording videos ahead of time at this point. But in the next couple of weeks, they are coming out with the ability to be able to select. So if we take this content over here, basically you're going to be able to select if you're doing a listicle article or not. So the software is going to be able to go out and do a lot better job with listicle type posts. So right now, SurgeGraph is really good at answering long form content, questions, things like that. But listicle posts, that's coming in a couple of weeks. Just wanted to give you that update, but there's some really cool things that we're going to be looking at. But I already did this post in here. You can see this really giant post in here. We haven't even optimized it or anything like that. And I copied this and then I went into Grammarly just to show you that right off the bat, without doing anything with Grammarly, it is getting a 92 score. We can go through, spend the 5-10 minutes it takes to fix all these suggestions if we wanted to. But again, it's going to pull over 90 most of the time. So just that's like an initial sniff test. It is going to write pretty good, high quality content for us. We don't have to worry about, gibberish and, a whole bunch of grammar mistakes that I showed you a software and how ugly it can actually get with AI last week, but you're going to get some really high quality written AI content with this tool, some power packed, really long form content. So what this software SurgeGraph is, who this is for, in my opinion, are those people that if you want to be doing the niche website building where you're, throwing up 1,000 articles and doing some testing and so forth, kind of like what I did with the newbie gardening site. This tool right now, as it stands, would not be that tool. And I wouldn't recommend this tool because this is going to be for when you want to put the extra time into each article and you really want that pillar content and you don't mind spending 30 minutes per article, even writing with AI, but going in and fine tweaking things, and you're working on one article at a time. So if that's you and you're building and focusing on high quality content and putting the time and effort into each article before you publish, and you're not necessarily focused on quantity, which is hundreds of articles to your site per month by yourself, right? Which is pretty much impossible without AI. But if you are focused on maybe one article per day, then this would be a perfect power-packed software for you because you have the keyword research function, you have a planner in here, you have bulk keyword research. I can make tutorials on how to do all that stuff, but I'm not going to jump into that in this video. As you can see, I've been messing around with the software, and we're going to go over here and start in keyword research real quick. Okay, so if I come into keyword research, I already plugged this one in, and I really like when you do this keyword research, you get an overview right here and the average KD, right? So we can actually come in here to average KD at 28. That's really low. That's pretty good with a high search volume at 840,000 and so forth. And you have your intent. So a lot of it is transactional. 78% is transactional and 157 keywords. So we're going to go ahead and click through right there. And we can get all kinds of good keywords in here, like right over here And what I've been doing is I really don't pay too much attention to the opportunity score. You can hover over this, you can pause the video and read that, but this isn't really something I focus on. I really like just traditional keyword research. And in general, is this a low or high difficulty keyword? I appreciate what they're trying to do with opportunity score, but in a couple different things, I kind of don't think that it's really giving the best suggestions. But you know that the KD score is going to be based on an algorithm, a traditional algorithm that most keyword tools have. And so I really like and feel comfortable with that. I want to look at some keywords that have a low KD, right? And so just looking at the boat rental business, it is a navigational. If you hover over here, it's a navigational type of intent. You have transactional intent, informational intent, and so forth, right? And what is L? I'm trying to go local. Okay, so L is local. So I really like how they break down and color code those ones and so forth. But boat rental business, just in general, as a general term, it has 140 volume and it has a low KD, and it is worth some good money on the cost per click, and your competition score is low. So good stuff right here. We can do a combination of things, but this is how I would do the keyword research, right? And then if I wanted to, I would just push write the article right here. So I'm just going to push the write article button. It's going to go out, and it's going to start this boat rental business for us right here. I do have a title that I actually have in mind. It's going to actually be like the 2023 Comprehensive Guide to a Flourishing Boat Rental Business. And we do have boat rental business in that title. Okay, so that's really going to be the title that we're going to go with once this is done analyzing. And you can see right here in pretty much real time, it's very fast. It's extracting the contextual terms, processing our document, and we will be ready in just a second. It literally takes about less than 60 seconds to run that process right there. It's done right here. Also, if we just put in our keyword right here, we also can come in here and say that we want a smaller article, medium, or a large article. I would spend most time with this kind of article, definitely right here, and that's what's suggested. If it's just a very straightforward, quick post, then you're going to want to pick the smaller quantity of words, but that's still going to be quite a bit right there. So this is definitely a long form AI writer that we've got going on here. So we're going to go ahead and click on this right here, boat rental business right over here. And we could go for that keyword right here. We can also go back over and just say, hey, we can drag and drop these if we want to, and organize these. But what we're going to really do is what I like doing is just pushing the continue button and then going to generate. You can have one last chance right here to switch your amount of words. We are going to ask for talking points, questions, contextual terms, but I'm going to go with generate right here. And then the AI is going to go out there and create our outline for us. So it's looking for the relevant results. Then it's going to move on to working on the talking points. And then we're going to be asking the important questions, including relevant contextual terms. The contextual terms, what they say contextual terms is NLP or LSI keywords. We can switch our creativity right here and our readability score. We can also change the tone right over here. Generally speaking, I just leave it on the first one that they have. But you can come over here, you can actually add in, like right here, it added in all those contextual terms. It's already done all that work for us right over here. We can just go and test all these out. Some of them will have a lot of contextual terms that it found. Sometimes, like over here, it didn't, only find a couple right over here, right? But researching routes and zones for sailing, building an efficient booking system and IT. So this is basically how to run a boat rental business right over here. We can add more down here just by pushing the new button, add an H2 and so forth. But I'm just going to go with what it has right now. And so then now all we have to do is just come over here to the start writing section. Launching a successful boat rental business 2023 guide. And you know what? It did come up with a pretty good title right there. We could definitely go with that title right there. Or we can switch it out with what we have that's a little bit longer, but it also is a little bit more engaging title. So I have to just decide which title I want to go with right over here. And so right here, you'll see where it's currently at as far as where it's at with writing. And it's encouraging us to definitely check out what is going on with the results and reading through it before publishing. But you know how it goes with AI writers. So please do your due diligence and check the content before publishing. They have been working on the introductions. They were longer and had more fluff in them. They have improved the introduction right over here. Thinking of starting a boat rental business, it's a smart move with the growing popularity of boating and water activities. The boat rental industry is booming, so why not dive in and make a splash with your own business? Renting boats offers numerous benefits. However, like any business, there are challenges. Blah, 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 blah. So if you're ready to set sail into the world of boat rentals, let's explore how you can turn your passion for boating into. So this is a long introduction still. You could technically just remove those 3 paragraphs, but I actually like it. I'm going to keep it. So we have factors to consider, identifying your target market. Before we do that, I am going to go over here and switch this out real quick with my title. And we're going to come back over here, but you can see it did give us a really good title. And then we're going to come over here and you can see right off the bat, before doing anything, we already have a 64 score right here. And there's still a lot of things that we can do. It gave us this massive post right here, and you can come through here, sift through and remove things that you don't want. Obviously it's telling us that we only needed 1,700 words. So in this case, we could have went with just a smaller version. It would be nice to see this information before we select what kind of article type we want as far as the amount of words. That would just be one thing that I would like to see, but we have plenty of words right over here, 51 headings, 144 paragraphs. So this is just a massive post compared to what is needed. And like I said, we'd probably be better off if we would have selected the smaller article. But let's just go and continue over here, evaluating startup costs and potential return on investment, boat acquisition, storage, maintenance and repairs. So it's bolding, it's giving us lists. It's giving us an H3 right here. We have our H2, and then you can see at H3 right there, and then H2, H3, and then we have our bulleted list right here. So it's laid out really, really well. Back to an H2, obtaining licenses and permits for your business. Starting a boat rental business requires obtaining the necessary license, permits, and certifications to operate legally. Researching local, so you can just see it stays on point, looking really good. We'll keep scrolling through here. Really beast of a post. Buying boats, pros, cons, leasing boats, pros, cons, just really, really good stuff right there. So like right here, this is why you scroll through. For whatever reason, it missed this right here. So we just want to remove number 5 right there and make sure it doesn't say top 5 in any way right here. And we're looking good right there. Okay, so let's keep scrolling through right here. And you could do things like this, like right over here. If this is a little bit too long of a paragraph, I'll split it up. That one is fine. It does look like it's doing a pretty good job not giving us massive paragraphs. That's one critique that I think I had in the beginning about a month ago, was that it just had too big of paragraphs. But right now you can see that they're only letting it have a few sentences at a time. It's really splitting it up, and I like the flow of that. Regular review and update of legal documentation, and a conclusion. And then the FAQs they added in here with short answers. I like that as well. This conclusion is really, really big. We probably could remove some of that, but I'm going to go ahead and just leave it the way it is. And then let's go and do some other things. So we can also go and add more topics. Obviously this article does not need more topics, but all you do is come over here and push the plus button wherever your cursor is at. Like right here, if I push the return and I push this plus button, it's going to show up right over here as well. And I'm just going to push the undo button because I don't want that. But that's just something that you can do. It's going to add it in as an H2. We have questions. We can also go and answer questions that we want to, but we already have a nice FAQ. So that's what I'm really trying to demonstrate right here, is right out of the box, the one-click article writer is going to be very, very sufficient. It's going to give you more than enough. You're going to even want to come in here and possibly carve it down in some cases because it gives us too much information, but it does the FAQs and it just covers the topic. It's adequate as far as the topical coverage. It's saying 100%. So it's basically, they have an algorithm to measure that, are we covering the topic in full? And in this case, we're covering it 100%. So we don't really need to add. If this number was lower, then we would want to add more stuff to it, more topics and questions, right? But since we are covering the topic 100%, we don't need anything like that. Now we can add links in here. We can automatically come in here and add links, travel influencers right here. Let's see. Just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and click this, and we can actually, let's see right over here. Well, okay, so that part didn't work. I will have to ask them, because last time I used this, we were able to just click a button and then it would add the link over here. But for now, we can actually right click, we can copy the link address, and literally just go over here and highlight this right here, and then come up to link and Control V and then done. So we did add the link in there. In a previous version, there was literally a button right over here that if you had this highlighted, you could push a button right here and it would automatically highlight it. I will follow up with them and see why that seems like it was taken away. But then you can go over to contextual terms right over here. There's some really, really cool things that we can do with contextual terms. And we're going to go with the SEO and some auto optimize. You get all kinds of good stuff, keyword density. See how we set this to 7th or 8th grade and it's still college graduate level. So it doesn't really mean that just because you have the setting at 7th or 8th grade level that it's going to end up like that. Most of the time with AI writers are going to end up in the high school, 12th grade or higher into college level. And in this case, college graduate level. So it's going to be pretty high up there. And that's just normal with most AI writers that I've used. They struggle to keep the readability easy, right? We're going to go back over here to the contextual terms. And let's just say you can see all the color codes and so forth, but I'm going to go with view preferences. I'm going to go with show unused. And so we have these unused terms right over here. We can copy all of these, and then I could come over here and just push return and just say, you put a slash right here. And then we basically say, write two paragraphs and include these terms. And then I'm going to paste those, and then I'm going to say run command right here. And then Longform AI is writing inside of SurgeGraph, so we don't have to leave and go back to ChatGPT and do all this. We can do it right inside of Surge, and it just saves the different steps for you, right? So we just got our paragraph right over here, these two paragraphs, and we can see that our score went up from whatever it was at 68, 67. It did go up. And then these are the terms that it didn't use. So one thing that it's not doing that ChatGPT does do better, but I know that SurgeGraph is working on it, is utilizing probably, I would just say a number. Try to use 70 to 80% of these words and hit it out of the park the first time. I think it's only adding in, it probably only added in 5 to 10 of those, right? And so if by removing this right here, let's see what our score goes. Our score is going to go down, possibly. Went down 1 point. So that is something that you can do. You can use the expert command. Again, you just go like that and you do / and there's all these different things. We can add FAQs, give answers, long form, table, bullet. We can brainstorm. There's some cool stuff. We can even save commands, custom commands. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and leave that off. Just wanted to show you that feature. They're continuing to improve on that. I do think that they need to have it use more of the words that we're giving it. It seems like it's having a hard time including those 20 or 30 words that I gave it, or terms, but nonetheless. Okay, so then let's go back over to the SEO tab over here, and what we can do now is we can say auto optimize. It's going to analyze our content, and this is a feature that is making this really, really going to takes this to the next level in comparison with other AI tools. It's going to auto optimize. Agility Writer, it has the optimized mode feature, and it's kind of doing something similar to this, where it's going to optimize your content. And then Surfer AI, right, is doing this, so we can have all the time that we used to take writing an article in AI, but then we have to spend 20 minutes tweaking it and doing all these things. AI has gotten to a point where we literally just push a button and it's doing all of that for us. So we literally don't have to lift a finger. So I'll be right back when this is done analyzing all of the SEO suggestions. All right, perfect. So that took about 5 minutes or so. So it's going to take a little bit of time. You have to stay on the screen in order for it to continue to search for these optimizations. But now we're in what is called the optimization view, and it found 79 items that can be auto optimized, right? So we're going to go through here. Now, you don't want to push this exit view button, or it's going to remove. You're going to basically be exiting the optimization view, right? And right over here, look at what it's telling us over here, that if we wanted to be fully optimized and increase our chances to the fullest, it's actually catching that our boat rental business is our keyword. And so that's why we do want that keyword up here. and we have boat rental business at the end of this keyword, or at the end of this title, and it's actually telling us that it wants us to change the title to Boat Rental Business 2023, a flourishing guide. And so you're still getting the up-to-date 2023 boat rental business and so forth and guide, but it's a very short title, which is going to be good for the search engines. And if we hover over this right here, it'll tell us using the target keyword at the beginning of your title. So you can actually push accept right here, and then it's going to move to the next one. So we can actually come over here, we can push the down button to find the next thing. So it's going to rewrite sentences right over here, add contextual terms right over here. So it's going to add some of our contextual terms, and we can push the accept button. So every time we do one of these, right, another accept right here, every time we do one, you can see it from over this view on the right-hand side, or just stick with over here. It's going to be increasing our overall score as well when we're done. But there's a really cool thing, and this is what you're going to be most excited about. It's surely what I like doing in the software, is that we can come over here and push this button right over here that just says accept all. So I'm going to push this accept all, and this is all under the add contextual terms. So 39, almost half of the suggestions are adding contextual terms. So we're going to go ahead and push this accept all button, and it just optimized right in front of you. You can see that it just optimized all of this right here, which is just insane. Now, let me be completely honest that when I first started using SurgeGraph, I just thought that you just clicked the one button and you were done, right? And the score would go up a few points, but it wasn't something that was like I would write home about. But look at now, we still have a bunch more. We have 39 more things that we can fix. It's going to add links. So if I push accept all, it's going to add external links, which is super, super cool. If we scroll all the way to the right down here, you're going to see all these different links that it's going to suggest. And we can go and add all these links. Right now it's saying add 18. So if you don't want 18, this is a massive 5,000 word post. So 18 is totally fine. And I'm going to go ahead but this is where I missed the boat before, which is you scroll down here and now we're on the links section, and you can push the accept all as well. Watch, boom. It's going to accept all those and optimize all of those as well. I'm going to go ahead and fix this in Grammarly when I see big sentences like that. But then we're not done. We can come all the way down here and add decorations. Now, decorations is going to add a bold to this, right? So add decorations. We can hover over and see if it has a note about this. No, it does not. But I'm going to accept this right over here, boat rental business. And it's going to bold our text even further. So I'm going to go ahead and just say accept all right here. And so we just accepted all those as well. And so you can see that we have everything is done with auto optimization, right? So we're done with this. We can come back up over here and we can go to exit view finally. So exit view, and now look, we just went from a 68 all the way to a 75 by making all those optimizations, which is just insane. We have all of our external links. We have bolds put in here and so forth. So this is very impressive what it's able to do. Last thing I want to do is, this is just crazy, right? And this is what Surfer is doing. They're doing the same thing. But I'm going to go over here and grab the text over here. Let's grab and we're going to go into Neuron Writer. So boat rental business. So I'm going to go over here into realistic pay, because that's the site I'm going to be putting this on. I'm going to go new query, and I'm going to say boat rental business and push start real quick. Let it go and analyze the keyword. We know it's probably going to, in this case, we know it's an easy keyword. It should be a pretty easy keyword. So it should be a 0 if I had to estimate. Okay, cool. So it's done. And actually super interesting content competition, a 35. I'm eating my own words because I rarely see anything over 5 on Neuron Writer. It almost just makes all keywords easy. And in this case, it's saying it's a 35. So that's crazy. So we're going to come over here and just leave all those, push next. And we're going to come over here and let's paste that in the meta real quick. Come back over here, put that in as our H1, push return. Come back over, grab the content real quick from SurgeGraph, and I'm just going to left click over here, Control A, Control copy the entire thing. And we're going to come back over to Neuron, and we're going to paste this big giant 5,000 word article. We're going to come back up over to the top. and we've got a 71 in NeuronWriter. So that can give you an indication that they're going to be very close and very similar, SurgeGraph and NeuronWriter. And if this is the case, then you really, I don't think the meta description actually does anything anymore. So want to learn how to start a boat rental biz. Okay, cool. So we've got so we just wrote a really good meta description, and it doesn't change this. So the meta description no longer impacts the score, but the title does. The competitor's best is 79 over here, so we still could do things to our content to make it better. But when we look at where we're at with the 71 right here in NeuronWriter, and then we go back into SurgeGraph and we have a 75, that means that they're very close. So if this can save you a step from not having to go and paste this into NeuronWriter, then that would be another leg up that SurgeGraph has on the complete package. You're able to do keyword research in here. You're able to one-click write. You're able to one-click auto optimize all of the features. And then you basically are ready to publish, and you wouldn't really, since this score right here is very close, it's only 4 off of what NeuronWriter says, you have all of your things in here that you would need. It kind of, in a sense, if you are subscribed to SurgeGraph, it could take away that step and that need to go to NeuronWriter to do more optimization, because you could continue to further optimize in here and so forth. So that was a really, really long tutorial, but just wanted to show you what is possible. I am actually going to go and publish this. I'm going to be running tests on the site. Let's go and do one more over here and just paste this into Grammarly real quick. I'm going to go grab the title real quick just to see what it ends up being in Grammarly. This could be your final step if you really want to make sure that the content is good. Then you could go and I'm just going to go and grab that and make this NH1 real quick. And we're at a 94, and you could go through here and fix all these mistakes if you wanted to. Me personally, because a lot of times, like right over here, there's actually with your boat, I think that this should be your boat. Let me see. That's kind of interesting. I'll have to look more into that. What is Go Boat? But anyways, I would do the corrections, and also you could even go into SurgeGraph and just kind of mess with that in here and use Grammarly extension. So hope you guys enjoyed this review and this tutorial, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, there will be a link below if you want to go pick up SurgeGraph. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you later.